Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Again, if you're watching for the first time or if you watched in the past and you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. So we have a few things to cover today, actually. The big news, something that I personally have been waiting for. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it as well. New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact Wrestling announced a joint event coming this March 30th. It's going to be Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive. It's going to be in Los Angeles, California at the Globe Theater. They hold about, I think, 1,700 people in that theater. It's going to be stars from New Japan Pro Wrestling, stars from Impact Wrestling on that event as well. It's going to be a huge event. This is something that I've talked about a number of times. I know a lot of people waiting for a Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling joint event, and now we're finally getting it March 30th. Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive, and they've announced 3 matches so far. One match that absolutely, when they announced it, just blew me away. Will Ospreay going one-on-one with Speedball Mike Bailey. I know they've met in the past before, but my goodness, they're so much better now than they have been in the past when they first met. I think they met a couple of times, but this match is going to absolutely light up the Globe Theater. Speedball Mike Bailey, Will Ospreay, two of the very best in the world, and they're hooking up at Multiverse United, and I can't wait. This is a match that's got to get every single person that comes across this announcement very excited. I can't wait. This is that match is going to be absolutely out of this world. I can't wait for that one. Will Ospreay and Mike Bailey, they're going to absolutely blow the roof off the Globe Theater. Jeff Cobb one-on-one against Moose has been announced. That should be a hard-hitting affair as well. Should be an excellent match. Cobb against Moose. It's going to be a lot of heavy hitting in that one, but that's going to be a great match as well. Then they also announced Josh Alexander, the Impact Wrestling World Champion, versus Kushida. I'm going to say this match didn't get me. This match announcement didn't get me as excited as Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey, or even Jeff Cobb versus Moose. Yes, it's going to be a great match, but Kushida is mainly a junior heavyweight. Um, I would have rather have seen Josh Alexander against Kenta. I think that would have been a much better match. I think that would have been a much better announcement. But you have to think, at Battle of the Valley, Kenta is getting a shot at Fred Rosser. I fully expect Kenta to win the New Japan Pro Wrestling New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight title. I fully expect him to beat Fred Rosser, and I fully expect him to be defending the title at this show, which is why a match with Kenta has not been announced yet. But Josh Alexander Kushida, it'll be a great match. We'll get some really great back and forth action in this one. Josh Alexander, one of the very best in the world. Kushida, also a very talented wrestler, but I don't know. I just, for that one, I'm a Kushida fan, a Josh Alexander fan. I just didn't get as pumped as I did when I read Will Ospreay going one-on-one against Speedball Mike Bailey. And this, you can make the argument, well, Mike Bailey's a junior heavyweight too, X Division. Well, he wrestles heavyweights as well. Kushida mainly a junior heavyweight. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I just, bottom line is Josh Alexander against Kushida, which should be a terrific match, just didn't get me as excited as a Josh Alexander versus Kenta would have, or if they announce who else is available here, who else is going to be, or Josh Alex. Well, can't be Minoru Suzuki because Minoru Suzuki and Josh Alexander already rent one-on-one. just say it wouldn't have got me as excited if it was Josh Alexander against Kenta. That's we're gonna leave it at that. But as I mentioned, I fully expect Kenta to win the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship against Fred Rosser at Battle in the Valley on February 18th. So I could fully expect him to defend the championship at Multiverse United on March 30th. And this is going to be live on pay-per-view, Fight TV. Starts at 8 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So the three matches: Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander versus Kushida, and Jeff Cobb versus Moose. Another match that I really hope, if when Kenta does win the open weight, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship, I hope he defends it against Steve Macklin. I hope we get a Kenta versus Steve Macklin announcement, because that match would absolutely rock. If it's not going to be Josh Alexander against Kenta, I hope it's Steve Macklin. I hope it's Steve Macklin against Kenta, or I would be okay with Steve Macklin against Minoru Suzuki. I would be okay with that match as well. But let's read the joint statement from New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact. Don't want to read the entire thing; it's very long, so it's Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling will co-produce a Major Live Pro Wrestling show on Thursday night, March 30th at the Globe Theater in Los Angeles with megastars from both promotions in action and numerous first ever dream matches confirmed. I just want to scroll down here. It says New Japan Pro Wrestling Representative Director Takami Obari said New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact have been a winning combination on Access TV, and now fans get to see these two companies share the same ring in person. I personally cannot wait to see what arises from this special card. I can guarantee the fans will experience a historic event, the likes of which they've never seen before. Not even when New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW came together, huh? Not even when we get the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, right? So that's his words. It's his words. I can guarantee the fans will experience a historic event, the likes of which they've never seen before. And I agree. I'm really I can't wait for this. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. And Scott D'Amore actually said something interesting. Let me find Scott D'Amore's quote here, if it's even in here. Oh, here. So Scott D'Amore, we are very excited for this unique collaborative event that brings together two of the best wrestling companies in the world, said Impact Wrestling Executive Vice President Scott D'Amore. Since New Japan Pro Wrestling returned to Access TV just over a year ago, we have been looking at ways to expand our working relationship between the two brands. Multiverse United on March 30th at the Globe Theater in Los Angeles. And get ready for what he said here, is the first of many exciting collaborations between Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they're not just planning this to be a one-off thing. They're planning numerous collaborations between Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that's great news. Great news to hear. Should be an absolutely fantastic event. Again, it's something that I've been waiting for a long time, something that I've been asking for a long time. I was wondering when they had AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door, I was wondering if, we ever going to get an Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling show. But now, of course, we are. March 30th, Fight TV. As soon as it becomes available, I'm ordering it immediately. It's going to be a great show. More match announcements are coming hopefully this week. Which means now we got No Surrender and Sacrifice coming up, which means we're going to see some New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. Well, it's already been Pro Wrestling, PW Insider already mentioned that No Surrender, we're going to see a number of New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. So they're going to show up in New Surrender to kickstart the promotion of Multiverse United. I'm sure we're going to see New Japan Pro Wrestling stars at Sacrifice, Battle in the Valley on February 18th. I know Josh Alexander is on the card. I believe I don't know if Mike Bailey's on the card. I know Josh Alexander for sure, but you could expect to see some Impact Wrestling. I'd be very surprised if we didn't see some Impact Wrestling stars showing up at Battle in the Valley again to promote the upcoming Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive show on March 30th. So I'm excited about it because I'm going to be at Sacrifice here in Windsor. So I fully expect I'm going to be at both shows, Sacrifice and Sacrifice Full Out. So I fully expect to see New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. Hopefully Kenta is going to be there. I've always wanted to see Kenta live. So hopefully Kenta's going to be there. Hopefully Minoru Suzuki is going to be there. But here are all the names that have been confirmed so far. That have been confirmed so far for this event. So Impact stars Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, plus most of the knockouts, which is interesting. Most of the knockouts. So I'm wondering if we're going to see talent from Stardom. Maybe Mercedes Moné. Maybe Mercedes Moné will show up. Maybe Kari will show up. Tam Nakano, Nakano. Hopefully. We'll see some Stardom talent there as well. And New Japan Pro Wrestling will be represented by Kenta. I mentioned Rocky Romero, Minoru Suzuki, Clark Connors. Great talent, Clark Connors. Kevin Knight, Fred Rosser, and many others. Man, I would love to see actually. You have Yuya Uemura. I wonder if he's gonna be available for this. I wonder if he would be on the New Japan Pro Wrestling side or if he would be on the Impact Wrestling side. But Clark Connors, terrific talent. Kevin Knight, Fred Rosser, the current New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. Don't think, like I said, I don't think he's gonna have the title going into this show. I think it's gonna be around the waist of Kenta, and he's gonna defend the title hopefully against Steve Macklin on March 30th. Prices are expensive. $350 for front row seats. $350. The tickets go on sale February 10th. They start at $60 and $350 for front row seats. That's great stuff, man. I was so excited when when this came out. Earlier today, like I couldn't wait to get home and jump on and talk about it. So again, I hope they announce Kenta versus Steve Macklin. And going on to Twitter, let's go on to Twitter here for a second. There's been wrestlers are they're getting excited about this. Let me go to Impact Wrestling here. We have a number of Impact. Oh, cancel, search, Impact Wrestling. Okay, so here, Will Ospreay retweeted Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey. They made a separate announcement, Impact Wrestling, and so Will Ospreay actually tweets out. He quoted the tweet saying, "I don't care how handsome he is," referring to Mike Bailey. He's going down. Rocky Romero says more match announcements are coming soon. Hashtag New Japan Pro Wrestling X Impact Wrestling. Josh Alexander, they announced Josh Alexander against Kushida. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be a great match. Josh Alexander against Kushida is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. Josh Alexander tweets out, "Let's go." Speedball Mike Bailey tweets out William in reference to Will Ospreay. I don't know, does Will Ospreay not like to be called William? But anyway, he quoted the tweet William. So they're already starting to cross promote this show, which is very exciting. Any Tom Hannafin very excited tweets out yes, and that's it. So last of the talent, the match announcement, the talents are very excited. They're already starting to push and promote this event. And again, no surrender, sacrifice. I fully expect New Japan Pro Wrestling stars to be there. A battle in the Valley. I'd be very surprised if we didn't see other Impact Wrestling stars besides Josh Alexander there as well. So get ready, folks. Buckle up. March 30th is going to be an absolutely fantastic night. New Japan Pro Wrestling versus Impact Wrestling. And I fully expect it to sell out very quickly. Very quickly. And I can't wait until the more match announcements come. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for Kenta versus Steve Macklin for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. Because, like I said, I'd be very surprised if Kenta doesn't defeat Fred Rosser at Battle in the Valley. Okay, so Deonna Purrazzo. I just did a news podcast on Deonna Purrazzo. Let me pull it up here. There was an update on her contract, the current contract. Impact Wrestling exercised an option for another year, so she's going to be with Impact Wrestling for at least another year. She becomes a free agent on January 1st, 2024. And I saw some of the comments. So some of the comments in the news podcast that I put up when I went over this, and people they might seem to be a little upset. They're saying, well, they had to exercise the option. Impact Wrestling had to exercise the option because they couldn't come to an agreement with Deonna Purrazzo, and they're referring to it as bad news. It's not bad news at all, and I don't think it's bad news. Having Deonna Purrazzo in your promotion for another year is absolutely fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic news. That's not bad news at all. They couldn't come to an agreement. Okay, so if Deonna Purrazzo wanted to leave, Deonna Purrazzo would have asked for a release. She doesn't want to leave. Deonna Purrazzo has stated time and time again that she loves Impact Wrestling and she wants to be in Impact Wrestling. They couldn't come to an agreement. Fine. So they exercised the option that was part of her contract. They exercised a 1 year option. And in January of 2024, when her contract is up, in December of 2023, they'll start negotiating for a new contract. And I'm sure they'll work something out. But it's not bad news at the very. It's not bad news at all. Again, having Deonna Purrazzo in your promotion for another year is absolutely fantastic news. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm very happy. I'm very happy Purrazzo's not leaving. I'm very happy Purrazzo is going to grace in the Impact Wrestling and Impact Wrestling ring for at least another year. But Deonna Purrazzo, without a doubt, is one of the best male-female wrestlers in the world today, and I'm glad she's remaining with Impact Wrestling for another year. And again, I expect her to re-sign with them. Okay, they weren't able to come up with an agreement. Impact Wrestling. I don't know the negotiations that went down, but when you think about it, it's a business move. Did Impact Wrestling really did they have to try hard to come up with a huge contract for Deonna Purrazzo now when they had the option of extending her deal for another year? They had another one year option they could have picked up. It happens in sports all the time. It happened to Brian Cage. It happens in sports all the time, not just professional wrestling, all sports. NBA, if somebody wants to pick up an option, if the New York Knicks want to pick up an option on one of their players, they'll pick up the option. Just if Purrazzo didn't want to be with Impact Wrestling, she would ask for her release, and I'm sure it would have been granted. Or not, maybe not right away, but if she didn't want to be here, she would have made it vocal that she didn't want to be here. But she wants to be with Impact Wrestling, so it's not bad news at all. It's actually absolutely fantastic news. So I'm very excited that Purrazzo is going to be with Impact, and hopefully I would love to see Purrazzo against Kari. Am I pronouncing her name right? Kari, the IWGP women's champion. Would love to see Purrazzo get a shot, or even if they could somehow bring Mercedes Moné in and she goes 1-on-1 with Mickie James at Multiverse United. I keep thinking Multiverse of Matches, but it's Multiverse United. But if they could do that, that'd be great. But not bad news at all. Not bad news at all about Purrazzo going to be with Impact Wrestling for another year. One more quick note: Dirty Dango has confirmed that his contract is for 1 year with Impact Wrestling, so he's going to be with Impact for the year as well. So Dirty Dango and Deonna Purrazzo, part of Impact Wrestling, part of the Impact Wrestling roster through 2023. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. Anything else breaks, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye, and stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.